Welcome back to another Duranie distraction, sorely needed. Oh my gosh. We are heading into April, another month of this crazy, unprecedented crisis. And I'm thinking of all of you. I hope you're staying safe. This crisis has just stripped us down to the most vulnerable states. Insecurity and uncertainty. There's a lot of reasons out there to kind of be held low these days. But I also see a lot of examples of people being there for each other, especially within the Duranie fan community. And so I'm just trying to focus on that. I guess it's all about what you focus on. And I would never have imagined that I would get a chance like this to use my archive for something like this. I mean, I've never felt closer to you guys. And, every day it carries a lot of meaning for me. I look forward to Wednesdays and Saturdays. I wish I could make it every day, but I think Christine and other friends are pleading with me, just space it out. Don't overwhelm. So, but this is doing wonders for me, and I'm really, really grateful for all the proof that it's doing something for you guys. I want to make a difference, and being there for each other, it's going to get us through this. So, in that spirit, I've chosen something new to kind of change things up today with this broadcast. And I chose a bigger size of article. This is a nice big book. This is, volume 6 of the 11 by 14 size. And this is a great category because this size of article includes a lot of great in-depth articles, like Hello Magazine, when the band members invited Hello Magazine into their homes in 1990, and some really great pictures from all over the country. And I won't put too much pressure on myself to identify the language, so all over the world. Did I say country? I need to remember to breathe. Hello, Christine. Thank you so much. Thanks to Christine again for just setting all this up. We got the candles, and we got a picture of the band back there. Paul Edmond, bless his heart. Thank you so much for tuning in, really. Fabi's here again. Hello, Fabi. I have her Argentina beer in the bedroom, and I really wish I drank. I could really use a couple swigs right now, but that's okay. I'm intoxicated by all you guys. So, without further ado, let's get distracted. Hello, Anu from Finland. Finland, oh my gosh, that's so far away. Yet you're right here with me. I love that. Okay, so we're going to open this volume with a cover of New Sounds magazine. Right. The guy's looking very new romantic. A little bit. This is actually, but it's the magazine is actually from August 1984. New Sounds, and this is a really nice article because I hate the word nice. It doesn't describe anything, but it's an article that talks about the band's 1984 press conference at the Magic Castle, and I didn't realize that Richard Blade introduced the band. Here it says, it starts out with Richard Blade's introduction. I'd like to present Capitol Records recording artist Duran. Disc jockey Richard Blade's introduction in the packed conference room of Hollywood's exclusive Magic Castle brought a barrage of flashbulbs from the cameras of assembled paparazzi and a rush of journalists. I mean, it brings all the energy from what we saw in the Sing Blue Silver documentary. When they just sat there, it was a really, really special time. The band were launching their tour, in the midst of their tour, and they were full of personality. We were hanging on their every word, and how many of the quotes still stay with us? Roger needs two hands for his. It's like Sing Blue Silver was our Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was really, really cool. So this article talks a lot about that. Some great quotes from the band. And love Richard Blade. He has an amazing book. Highly recommend it. Hello, Jody and Marty. Avery, Jody Rutaco, longtime friend. Love you. Julius Christian is here. So cool. I get so wrapped up and so nervous, but then as soon as you guys, show up, this is like, hey, we're just hanging. That's all this is. Very cool. This is a great full-page ad for the power station. I completely have a special spot for all of the trade advertisements. Very, very nice, and just all over the world. Every country has done it differently, so that's a very nice ad for the Power Station album. And this is an article from The Province, January 14th, 1986, titled "It's Deep, Dark, Rich, and Red." It's an article about Arcadia. Love that shot of them, Nick at the piano. So artsy. They just went in such a different direction. This actually really, this juxtaposition right here really seems to crystallize the differences between the two camps. Power Station and Arcadia. I mean, it was so different. And I remember reading about this in the teen magazines. And the magazines were trying to relay all the differences between these two camps, separate but equal. The Power Station's hard rock and Arcadia, and I was just so worried that the band were breaking up, as everybody does. Fabi believes I should do a special section for Lollapalooza, Argentina. 3 years ago, that was an amazing show. Oh, the audience response was just captivating. They chanted, they screamed. It was just like thousands strong. It was really, really cool. Really cool. Someday, I want to be part of that energy that flows between the seats and the stage in those countries. Italy, Argentina. It's just amazing. Yes, 3 years ago, Lollapalooza, Argentina. This is an article from BAM magazine. I believe it's Bay Area, San Francisco. April 1985, the Teflon Pop Group. Simon with that ever-present bandage on his leg. We've run into that before. I don't know. It's an interesting photography decision to keep that bandage on. But Simon Le Bon proudly puts ego aside, and this is a great in-depth article on them. Here's a quote: "We've become much more free in our way of look. There's nothing contrived about the way we dress." That's a nice spread right there. There's something about seeing Simon and John on stage. Oh, Marilyn Toey from the UK. Hello! All across the pond. Huge hugs. Kimberly, Ritmar O'Connor. Had the poster of Simon on her wall. Is it this poster right here? Simon? This is as close as he comes to playing baseball. I remember there was another shot back then. He was posing with the glove, and it was like, oh, if he can play baseball, I can play baseball. I tried to play baseball, and it didn't last very long. It lasted as long as when I got hit in the eye with a ball. So then I was done. Archiving is a lot more safe. So there's a great quote from Simon. Politics have nothing to do with pop music. Party politics, Democrats, Republicans, that ain't pop music. That is very, that's like school. I thought that was a great quote. Here's a great two very different articles that appeared. One of them is from Rolling Stone. This one over here, this one right here, this goes out to all the people that can play an instrument. Niles Sorensen and Craig and all the guys in Nightwave. Love you guys. I haven't done enough shout-outs to you yet. But it's an extraordinary ability to play an instrument, especially to cover Duran Duran songs. So this is an interesting article about how rockers reveal the equipment behind their sounds, and it actually goes into what the equipment was for each band member at that time. This is April 1985. Simon is listed as using a wireless Nady 700 diversity microphone. So that's information for any young Duranie to keep in their little pocket. John played an area SB 1000 bass. All you bass heads out there will probably know exactly what that is. I hope I'm pronouncing area right. Nick is listed as using a CMI Fairlight Prophet 5, Roland Jupiter 8, and then Roger Jet Black Tama Imperial Star drum set. I mean, it really, it delves into what each band member played. I mean, when you're seeing them on stage, there's so much mystery about how they're doing it, what they're playing. There were people that really wanted to know those details. And it's really cool to actually hear some of these coming from the roadies or however the information was dispersed. It was really cool to know some of the details. And then, of course, Simon's over here. This is a great quote from the editor of 16 magazine. Simon, he's perfectly charming, a fine representative of Duran Duran. The kids have, however, zeroed in on Nick and John. They look more waif-like, less threatening. Simon looks more like a functioning adult. From the editor of 16 magazine. Then we have the moment that all Nick fans will never forget in their lives. Nick Rhodes posing in a bathtub and amid flamingos on his wedding day. Yeah, that was a really hard time. Darlene, hello Darlene, welcome. Amanda Pants is here. Amanda! Yeah, that was really hard when it was a new reality. Nick wouldn't be marrying any random Duranie or people. It was like there was an actual woman in his life, and he was off the table, off the market. That was hard. That was really hard for a lot of fans. Okay, so this is gorgeous. I love Italy. Italy just comes through with the best photography. This is a spread on Simon. Look at that. That is a smoldering look. It's really, really interesting how their faces just took on a different character, just with a different hair color. And when Arcadia set in, everything was just, so it was Mediterranean, it was darker, it was just a little more, it was esoteric, and it totally complemented the music on the album. So Red the Rose. It was the photo sessions were just extraordinary. And then of course there's Simon and Nick. Yes, Marco was supposed to get married to Nick. Oh, look at this. Beautiful shots. And I promised myself I would really try not to use the word beautiful anymore. So I'm like on high alert. Okay. Here's a lovely shot of Nick with a tassel on his hat. This is from Max Magazine. It's a very warm shot. They're very capable of looking right into the camera and making you feel like they're kind of looking right at you, like, hey, saying hi to all the fans out there. I'm probably reading way too much more into it. So this is a compelling article in the news. This came from The Plain Dealer, August 16th, 1985, plugging in top musicians with John Taylor. This is about Michael DeBar, I believe. Yeah, this is talking about Michael DeBar. Very cool. Michael is just an amazing figure in the Duranie community and beyond. He is an absolute quintessential rock star. Highly recommend everyone listening to his, following him on Twitter. Do I have this? Yes. Okay. He's always dispensing encouraging energy and beautiful sentiments, really rallying spirits. Michael, hats off to you, man. Okay, so this is from Viva Rock magazine. Now, some of you might recognize Viva Rock instantly. This is one of the biggest staples of the Japanese publications back then. It had amazing photography. It had glorious, drool-worthy shots that average fan had never seen before. Yes, Marty, Nick's eyes. Yes, it's all about the eyes, right? Rocio! Okay, Viva Rock, absolutely amazing. So the pages in this special edition of Viva Rock, the photography, I really will try not to say much because all you need is what your eyes are taking in. Okay, so just wrap your eyeballs around this. Look at this. Yeah. You know, finding spreads like this, it feels like you're doing your due diligence as a collector. It's like, okay, this is one of the gems out there. Great shot of John. And then we have Nick and Simon. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Look at that. Rich, lustrous photography. The colors, the poses, they're clear, and just, wow. I promised myself I wouldn't speak, so I'm having trouble. It's just, these are shots you can kind of linger and look at for a while. Hello, Zena. OMG, forever crush. Yeah, that I think that speaks for a lot of us. Swoon, says Maria David. Oh, yes. There's a new swoon on, was it today's Wednesday, right? New swoon on Wednesday. Oh, yeah. It goes on. It goes on. That's a good shot of John and Nick, the founders of this band. I mean, they put out their little art project, and who knew? I mean, they probably knew what it was going to become, but it's still going. It's, you know, I was thinking recently about how, you know, this is Duran Duran's anniversary year, and this is definitely not how I envisioned the year was going. So my heart goes out to all the fans who had tickets to Vegas and to the band. I mean, there's a lot of change happening. A lot of change, and I do great with change, and anyone who knows me knows that is serious sarcasm. There's a nice collection of photos. This one in particular I want to draw your attention to, and here's a great shot of Andy's wedding. It's an angle you don't see very much, and then of course this one right here below is Nick. I'll just show you. How's that? Yeah. Absolutely riveting photos. They have such character. John pensive looking off into the distance. Andy's wedding. That was, yeah, the first Duran taken off the market. That was hard for a lot of Andy fans. But Roger's jacket is patterned. His hair looks crisp and perfectly crafted. And I mean, they're just, okay, get a real close up on that. That is, I've never seen that shot before. Fab Nick shot. Yes, absolutely, Maria. Absolutely. Oh, okay. Oh, for all those Roger and Andy fans, this spread's for you. Okay. First we have Roger. Right there. Look at that. That is tailor-made for you, girls. And then Andy. Andy on the street. I think he's wearing a Power Station shirt too. Okay, there's some small shots, some action shots from 1982. No, 82, 84, all over the place. Cannot read a stitch of Japan, but see if I can go closer on the photos. Personal Private History of Duran Duran. Roger Taylor by Nick Rhodes, John Taylor by Andy Taylor. They all talk about each other, which is really fun. Really fun. And okay, there's more writing. There's one shot of Roger, a black and white shot. So, okay. Now this shot, double page, full on, just early years. I mean, it has all the elements of greatness here. Look at this. Has a planet in the background. Beautiful. I said beautiful again. Okay, there's more writing. I wish I could read some of this to you. I know there's Japanese fans out there who are like, oh yeah. Let's see, there's a nice new romantic shot from the outside the rum runner. Okay, I hope I'm showing these centered on the screen here. Let's see. Okay, here's a nice shot of John. I believe this is how he appeared when Culture Club and Duran were going to do the super concert in 1985, I think. That's a nice shot of him. Okay. Oh, Roger Taylor is talked about by his mom. And Andy Taylor is talked about by his brother Ronnie. And Nick's mom talks about him. She's a sweet lady, really. Okay, here's a nice black and white shot of Roger. Here is an ad for Miami Vice 2, which featured a whole bunch of artists on the soundtrack, including Andy Taylor. Of course, you know, you combine Andy Taylor with a white Ferrari Testarossa, you got the ingredients to attract all manner of male Duran Duran fans. There we go. I remember watching Miami Vice. Oh, when Power Station appeared on Miami Vice, that was heavenly. That was really cool. And John, I think, had a speaking part. That was, yeah. Yes, Marco Lukonen says it would be great to see all shots of the first album shootings. I mean, I've always believed contact sheets are where it's at. It's amazing. That would be really, really cool. Just to see the flow of the whole photography session. It was an incredible time. Just, I wonder what was playing in the background when they were posing with the car. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but you know, when they're posing with that car, that was really cool. That was a good idea. This is a magazine, Pulse, which was free in Tower Records stores. Remember Tower Records? Oh my gosh, it keeps coming up in the collection. Love Tower Records, miss Tower Records. So this is in 1988, Pulse magazine, but the little girls understand. This is when they changed their logo into one word, Duran Duran, no spaces. And they wanted to be bad boys and stick their chins out. I remember that was a quote. It's a great shot right there. But Nick's curtain cut, that's what it's called apparently. That was an interesting look for him. It did not win over every Duran fan, but it certainly shows their propensity for being chameleons. Okay, and then one more page, nothing much to look at there. So we're going to close out that volume and pick up another one. This is volume 10. And this is going to be cool because we're diving right into modern Duran Duran. This is about 2005. It begins with an article, 25 little known facts about Duran Duran. And I'm pretty sure that most of you will know them all, so I will not take up time reading anything. I'm wondering if there's anything really interesting. Okay, no, nothing. Okay, Nick had his passport photograph taken by ultra-hip fashion photographer Jürgen Teller. Did not know that. Makes sense. It totally makes sense for Nick Rhodes. And yeah, there's all kinds of little tidbits, and my hat's off to all the Duranis out there who actually remember a lot of the statistics. This is a copy of a feature called Durantastic. This is from the Daily Mirror, July 20th, 1983. Beatles-style mania as Princess Diana's favorite pop group fly in. It was crazy back then. They flew into the airports and all the mania in the streets. It's just, I love thinking about it and talking about it and hearing the stories. There's something about it. I mean, it had such a quality. It just takes me back. I love hearing about how the band were received in Japan as well. That the Japanese fans would follow the taxi cabs everywhere. Very, very cool. I would have loved to have been part of that. This is an article, Love is in the Air, from the Daily Star, July 25th, 1983, and talks about Simon and Claire. Just got engaged. Their love lives were everywhere. Apparently the UK tabloids and UK fans could not get enough. Can you imagine living in such a fishbowl? Hello, Stephanie Bristow is here. Juanita Porter is joining us. Oh, that's so cool. Welcome, welcome so much. We are in the midst of distracting with a vengeance. Okay, this is a nice article. Julie nicks Duran heart. Only one of them left, girls. And Simon's still in love. So not one of the Duran members escaped being scrutinized by the UK press. And this is a feature called this is Britain Rocks America, On the Road with Duran Duran. It's midnight and the fun is just beginning. It's kind of fun. There's something about seeing the band covered in your daily press. I mean, it just is really, really, really special. You just don't expect them to be right there in your daily magazine. Okay, we're going into, and oh, by the way, that was got a little whiplash. We started out in 2005, and then we went back, and now we're going forward again, so apologize for that. Okay, this is from the Jerusalem Post, and it's a reprint of the New York Times article from October 3rd, 2004. Marco says, when Nick and Simon visited Arcadia promotion, there was an airport glass wall that was broken. Yeah, I've heard about that. Oh, it was crazy. Imagine that. That'd be pretty scary. I would imagine that would be very scary. Okay, so from the New York Times, October 3rd, 2004. It's a really distinctive shot of the band standing outside in New York. Okay. And then this is an article from The Province. I believe this is Canadian. Let's see, this is Witness Duran Duran, Rebirth Live. Yeah, it was Ontario, let's see, the GM place, I think. It's really, really fun seeing all the coverage when the band go on tour. Really, really, really special. Because this stuff is just lost. It comes out one day and then it just disappears. So it's pretty special. And I can't thank all the fans out there who have thought of me with the press coming out. Thank you very, very much. Again, always, for picking up copies of stuff. So this is a call. This says the band is now more democratic. And then, there's a little feature here. Are you a true Duranie or is this a new universe? So it kind of appeals directly to fans out there. Okay. There we go. And on the opposite page, there's a great feature from Corriere della Sera. probably horrible pronunciation, from an Italian paper. Some nice pictures across the years. All about Simon. Okay, so the Cream magazine. I believe this may be from Australia. The Wild Boys. There's a great shot in here of Nick in his little spaceship. Remember that from the sunrise video? Very cool. So this is a nice interview with Nick, and the shots are really, really cool. That's a Funko that should be made. Nick Rhodes in his alien spacecraft. Yeah, that's the next Funko. Funko, take note. I got suggestions. There's a continuing article. Nick says, "I'll go to the opening of a Chanel box so long as there's something nice inside." He always is the master of quotes. And here we have Off Center magazine, March 2005. This is from the Thompson Okanagan. Okay, this is from Canada. And it says Duran, the Off Center interview. Nice, big full-page spread when the band played Kelowna on March 8th. And on the opposite page, we have another supplement. Newspapers that come out with supplements are really cool. They just big full-page coverage, welcoming the band into town, jazzing up the fans. Those are so fun. They don't do those enough. This is when Duran played at the Mark. This is the Quad City Times, Thursday, March 17th, 2005, on the Astronaut Tour. Just amazing photo there. And inside, still hungry after all these years. Don't call Duran's newest tour a nostalgia trip. It was so exciting when they went on tour, reunited. That was so exciting. I remember seeing them with Christine in Costa Mesa, seeing all five together for the first time. I was just like totally riveted to Andy and Roger, the ones that you didn't see very much up until that point. That was really exciting. Duran all over again. More coverage. This is from the Beacon Journal, March 24th, 2005. Here they are. It's a shot of them holding the Lifetime Achievement Award during the MTV Music Awards in 2003. They were all over the place. The coverage was crazy. That was really, really a special time. All Duranies felt vindicated, and it was like, that's our band. They never went away. All that coverage is like, oh, Duran are back. Please, they never went away. Whatever, talk to the hand. Out on the Edge is another coverage right here. This is when Duran came to the Aganis, the Boston Herald, and they were sharing the spotlight with Maroon 5 at the time. And so there's two coverage of Maroon 5 and Duran. The Rio Deal, Duran back in orbit with Astronaut. I mean, for a band to have the longevity that Duran has had, I mean, it makes me, proud as a fan. Talk to the hand, a new, yeah. I mean, I feel incredibly proud to be a fan. The one band I ended up becoming enamored with, and they are the ones that are the last band standing. They're still rocking, and next year, when they finally, I think, go on tour and all the dates come out, I hope, it's going to be amazing. And I certainly hope to see you guys on tour. It'll be something to look forward to. Okay, March 30th through April 5th. This is the Campus Circle. Looks like a free publication. Duran reunited 80s band is recording and touring again. A nice interview. And it's a great shot right there. Love that picture. when it was that first several photo sessions that came out of Hong Kong when they first got together. Kelly Mottweiler says her new corner shelf was just delivered. She's going to attempt to assemble it with the help of her teens. You know, I mean, it really is about finding comfort in unexpected places right now, the smallest little joys. So I wish you luck. I wish you luck on that. You know, it just, I don't know, to have the kind of longevity that the band has, it's extraordinary. Very proud of them. The Guide. This is from April 8th, 2005. The 80s 5 are still fab. Here's another one of the photo sessions that came out of Hong Kong. All the photos were put onto a CD, I think it was a CD, as part of a press kit in 2005. And it was released. It was really unveiling the new reunited Duran to everyone. And the photo sessions were just amazing. The band looked up. It was confirming everybody's hopes that the band really hadn't aged. I mean, they looked spectacular, and they still do. Very, very, very exciting. Duran again. Band revives its electro sound and sexual swagger. Sexual swagger. That is a combination of words that everybody should aspire to have on their resume. This is from the Star Ledger, April 8th, 2005. Yes. Okay, now I spoke earlier about Hello magazine. This is one of them. This is not a. It is a spotlight on Simon. It's not like the ones they had like multi pages in 1990, but this is a great spotlight on Simon. This is 20 years after the drum incident. Simon reveals he's taking on the Fastnet yacht race once again. So look at the smile on that man. He really enjoys his sailing. You know, that was something that really was quite powerful. You know, reading about Simon's adventures. I mean, they've lived their lives so bigger than life. Taking a real quick break. Teresa is reflecting on how they played Oslo, June 27th, 2005. She ditched her son's birthday for that. It is about Duranie priorities. Way to go, Teresa. That's a girl. Hello, Julie. Welcome. But yeah, the band members have lived their lives in such a grand, bigger than life fashion. You know, doing all these side projects, adventures, sailing, films. I mean, it really is. It's quite inspiring. I mean, I hope we can all just find our passions and follow them wherever they may lead. Here's a nice shot of Simon on the edge of his boat, on the front of his boat. I probably should be using, was it prow? I think I do not know boat terms. So this is a wonderful, wonderful full page ad for the New York, I think it's Village Voice, May 4th, 2005. Yes, the show at where is this? Okay, so I can't quite place it. July 30th, July 31st. Very, very cool. Very cool ad. Showing all the guys together. Great composite. Oh, yes, Sunday Independent in the Life section called Blame It on Rio. This is a huge spread. Look at this. And some really great shots showing the band through the years. And Andy smoking. Yeah, that was the one thing. You wanted to bring all the band home to your mom, but they did smoke, they did drink, they had their habits. But they still loved They were just still fantastic. Okay. Oh, someone has mentioned they like the book, where the articles are housed. And I should probably just make a note, I do recommend this to anybody who has articles or things that they want to protect. Itoya products, Itoya, are highly recommended. They handle like a book. You can get them, I think, on Amazon. Really, really a great product. They have them in various sizes. Itoya Pro Folio. So there you go. Okay, this is from the Times Picayune. Is that Picayune? Picayune? I never known how to pronounce that. Arts and Entertainment Weekly from Friday, July 8th, 2005. This is when the Fantastic Four came out, the movie. Duran Duran at Uno Arena. It's all about the show as Duran Duran reclaims its reflex. Beautiful. Oh, this coverage. One of the best things that I ever did was when the band started to launch their 2005 tour. I reached out to journals and publications across the U.S. and really asked if they were planning on covering the tour. And I was after having just a single copy. And in most cases, the journalists themselves or the publications would send me the coverage. And so I ended up with a really amazing, comprehensive coverage of the entire astronaut tour. So this is really fun, and I've always wanted to share this with you guys. This is from the Indianapolis Star. Hit makers remake themselves with hard work. Indeed. Indeed. I would have loved to have reached out to publications in the same way back in like 2000, 2001 or earlier, but there was no internet, there was no Facebook. I would have had to actually write letters, find addresses. How did I ever survive back then? Rocio says she's got several oversized posters that she has no idea how to protect them. Well, it is as long as you're not storing them in against cardboard, acid cardboard, then that is then you're going to be in good shape. You can keep them rolled up. To keep them flat, I mean, you definitely need the acid-free backings, and I have mine in Mylar sleeves. That's a lot. It's expensive. It's really an investment. But the biggest thing is you just don't want to keep anything against the acid-filled cardboard. You don't know what kind of chemicals go into it. So that's what I can offer. It's hard to maintain a collection. It is, to be aware of all the the moisture in the room and all the acids in your supplies. It's hard, and so kudos for even thinking along those lines. Duran Duran is back. This is the weekend supplement, July 15th through the 17th, 2005. Let's see. Still hungry. A reunited Duran Duran is finding satisfaction the second time around. This is from the Tennessean, July 15th, 2005. Very generous coverage there. Some newspapers really get creative and have a lot of fun, taking people on a nostalgia trip and acknowledging how long the band had been there. That's been very cool. So this is the ENT, a feature from the Charlotte Observer. This is stretching all across the U.S. It's so cool. It's so cool. July 15th to the 15th to the 21st. It brings to mind how there's Duranis in every town. And, I remember growing up just feeling, so isolated, like I was the only one. I mean, where were you guys? When I was growing up. I missed all of you. I wish I had a way of reaching out. So it's from the Charlotte Observer. Hungry again. Duran Duran brings original lineup to Charlotte. It's a great picture of them sitting on a couch. I do take a little issue with John's tennis shoes. It's like, really? I mean, you guys, tennis shoes don't become you unless they're Chucks. A lot of people love the Chucks. But I just want everything to match. I want everything to be polished, and it's all about what I want. Okay, they can still make tennis shoes work. Okay, Hardcore Duranis elated by band's return. Oh, this is an article about superfans. Very cool. Stephen Herbster, a 34-year-old video editor for the Carolina Panthers, said he had a front row ticket to the show. And yeah, Alonzo Green, a real estate agent and New Jersey native, said he first got into the band after hearing the song New Moon on Monday. I mean, it really shows how in all walks of life, you never know where you're going to find Duranie's. And I've heard so many friends of mine talk about how they've met people on the road or seen Duranie license plates in traffic. Really, really fun. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. Okay, and we're going to end with a feature, pull-out section from The Sun. Back together and touring in support of their new CD. Duran Duran is on the road again, hungry for more. Okay, and then that feature, it's a nice full page feature right there. So that is a wonderful place to just take a little breather. Can't believe how time goes by. I'm not quite sure whether an hour is too much, so feel free to weigh in on this. I don't know how I'd squeeze all this energy into just a half hour, but I'm going to take a little break, and then I'll be back with more books, more distraction, and more love for you guys. So don't go anywhere.